The power of checklisting. In a leading management institute of India, an exercise of perspective planning was being undertaken to prepare a plan for next 10 to 15 years. One day, in the tea club, some young, inquisitive faculty members asked a senior colleague sitting there to share his experience and views on how to manage the task of giving fillip to the academic activities of the institute. Dr. Chidambaram, one of the senior colleagues, narrated a story about how the institute had gone about for giving 3.5-fold rise in intake of postgraduate program in management in 4 months' time a few years back. See the cases, the fun of case writing A and B. Professor Nandakumar, another senior colleague, narrated the following experience on the request of the younger colleagues. Preparing checklist is considered an important management tool for planning and implementing growth agenda. But how powerful is this tool is not specifically described in the literature. Sometimes in February 1996, I was attending a board meeting of the institute. At one stage of the discussion, perhaps on growth of the institute, the chairman looked at a faculty member on the board and asked why could not the institute increase the PGP batch size that was around 125 students to 180. The faculty member politely told that the question should be asked to the director, not to him. Chairman said, the director explains that the faculty council feels that it is not possible to increase the intake in view of various constraints like classroom, faculty, etc. Why can't you allow at least 15-20 students to the present size? The faculty member said, the director may be right in that the faculty council has decided that the institute should wait for 1 more year so that all the necessary infrastructure is in place in advance. But you may please check with the director that I have not said so. Regarding adding 15-20 students, as a faculty, my view is that it should not be done. We don't have appropriate classrooms even for 60 students. With 9 students in 1 row in the lecture hall, my voice does not reach the last row, even the 7th row. When I move with mic for eliciting participation for the case discussion, the cord of the microphone breaks as I move forward and backward to the 7th row. If the students are not able to listen to me and each other, how will they follow what is being taught through the case method? Without that, we will have farce of teaching, not imparting learning to the students. But you may check with the director. I have never said no to adding 1 full section, even if it increased my workload substantially. But the director says it is not possible. The faculty council has suggested a faculty strength of about 30 faculty members to take the increased intake to 180 students, said the chairman. The faculty member quipped, we have developed the expertise of telling how things cannot be done. If you ask this question next February, answer will be the same. We will tell you very convincingly why the same cannot be done. So what should be done? Asked the chairman. The faculty member replied, the institute should be asked to prepare a checklist of all that is to be done to increase the batch size to 180 next year. And in every board meeting, the first and main agenda should be to discuss what remains to be done. The Institute must confirm to the board by next December that everything required has been done to increase the batch size to 180. If this is done, there is a possibility that next year we will have a batch size of 180. The board asked the director to do the same, and surprise of surprise, next year the intake was 180. I never realized the power of preparing and using checklist as a management tool is of that order. Do you? He asked. The young faculty colleagues were wondering whether just by making the checklist the increase in intake can take place. Why not prepare the checklist for increasing the intake from 120 to 180 using the same strategic management models? In what way this checklist would differ from the one mentioned in the case writing A? Keeping in view the facts of the case, the case writing A and B, when should the intake be increased to 180 or more?